Well, hello and welcome back once again. Turn 3 Racing Network Sunday morning action on tap for you. The US Indy Car League presented by StickQuik. It's the StickQuik 200 live here from Michigan International Speedway on this beautiful Sunday Father's Day morning. Got some great racing action for you here. Go ahead and kick your feet up, grab you some coffee or whatever it is you get in the morning, and get ready to see one heck of a show out here today. These drivers are going to enjoy a great track out here at Michigan International Speedway. There you see it, a 2-mile D-shaped oval. Weather looking fine out there, 78 degrees this morning. Nice cool morning. These drivers going to have a ton of a grip out there. And well, as I've already said, thanks for joining us to all the fans, family, friends, viewers, stopper buyers, comers, goers. Do want to appreciate you taking a moment out of your Sunday morning to join us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. So big shout out to you and, well, all the fathers out there across the country doing everything they do A big shout out to each and every one of you. Want to wish you all a very happy Father's Day here on this Sunday morning, June 21st. Man, what a day, what a race we have got coming towards us here. So let's take a look, a little bit of the timing and scoring, see how things are shaking out here in happy hour. Last 4 minutes now, make it just 3 minutes remaining on happy hour. There you see the timing and scoring over on the left-hand side. We'll leave that up on screen while we run down your point standings coming in to today's race. Robert Mitchell sitting on top of the points. Ben Wallace in second, just 14 points behind. Big jump back to Craig Forsyth, who has moved up one spot in the championship hunt, now sitting in third, 52 points behind Robert Mitchell. Howard Livingston dropping a spot last week, now sits in fourth, and rounding out your top five in the point standings, Jonathan Barnhart. Jason Lowe, sixth. Richard Kelball, seventh. Tim Keene sitting in eighth, tied with David Zaleski right now for that eighth position. And then 10th will be Rick Lovison. Only driver to win a race but be outside of not only the top 10 but outside of that top 15, and that is Oscar Gonzalez. Gonzalez winning the Indy 250 here, the Jack Bumper Indy 250 here in the US Indy Car League, presented by StickQuik. But he is a few races behind, joined the season a little bit behind the 8 ball, but has slowly been working his way up through the point standings. Well, with all the official business done, said, out of the way, want to give a big shout out, as I already said, to all the fans out there, all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. Also want to give a big shout out to all of the sponsors here in the US Indy Car League. StickQuik.com. Organizers and fasteners, head on over to StickQuik.com for all of your organizing needs. A lot of great products over there. Go check them out. Also, Jack Bumper Racing Team. Jack Bumper, great sponsor here. One of the drivers here works hand in hand with Jack Bumper. So glad they could be on board here once again this season. In Media 10, also a sponsor this season. So big shout out to them for coming on board as well. Man, I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to get this thing fired off. We're down to less than a minute here in happy hour. There you see Ben Wallace and his 99 machine sitting on top of the speed charts. Jonathan Barnhart in second. Third on the timing and scoring pylon. There you see it. Nice drone cam shot right there. Craig Forsyth and his 131 sitting third on the speed charts. And as the final few seconds run out here in happy hour, we're going to take a look around the track, see what's going on, see how it's all shaken down. Let's see who we can get see who we got our eye on out there right now. Looks like we do have a camera on that 666 of Inigo Mardones. And just as we go trackside, wouldn't you know it, happy hour over. Qualifying now beginning, waiting to see who's going to be the first driver to jump out there on track to begin their chance at the pole position today. Looks like Richard Kelball is going to be one of the very first drivers onto pit road. Has not pulled out of pit road yet, but nonetheless sitting on pit road right there at the end, ready to go. Now rolling off is Kelball. Already off of pit road and on the racetrack, Tim Keene and his 8 Wheeling Engineering Dallara IR18 going down the backstretch, getting up to speed. Ben Wallace also out on track now, joining Howard Livingston, David Zaleski, Will Stearns, Ryan Bowles, all those drivers out there on track. So we'll throw up some qualifying information for you right there. with Tim Keene as he makes his way around the track. There you see it. Fifth gear whining out right now. We'll wait to see how this shakes out for Keene. Now utilizing that apron. The apron, something that is available to these US Indy Car League drivers during qualifying. However, running down on the apron during the race is frowned upon and penalties will be issued. So you do have to keep your eye on that, do have to keep a watch on that. Going to throw the ticker at the top of the screen for you there as Tim Keene comes around to take his second time lap. Where will he go? Only good enough for sixth right now on the speed charts. Richard Kelball sitting on top of the board, and just like that, Tim Keene, quick time here today at Michigan International Speedway. We'll jump back now and take a look as Ben Wallace finishes his second time lap. Gonna cross the line. Where does Ben go? To the top, baby, all the way pole position with a 32.542. Ryan Bowles now slotting in second. We'll see if we can't go out there with another driver. It looks like Victor Badia out there on his up to speed lap. So he's going to have both of his time laps to go out there and try to knock Ben Wallace off the top of the speed charts and out of that provisional pole position. Coming just to 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying. It is the witching hour for qualifying. Who's going to be able to take that top spot here today in the StickQuik 200 from Michigan International Speedway? There you see Victor Badia on his second timed lap. Nobody being able to crack the code to knock Ben Wallace off the top of the speed charts just yet. Here comes Badia down and into turn number 3. Center of 3 and 4 looks good. Now hugging that apron, coming to the line. Where will Badia go for his first time lap? Badia good enough for 11th. Wait for him to get his second time lap in. Jason Lowe gonna crack the top 10 in his 004, now being bumped by Craig Forsyth. Craig all the way up to what was 7th, now 8th, as Robert Mitchell has put in his timed laps. And looky here, Oscar Gonzalez gonna take the pole away from Ben Wallace with less than a minute remaining here in qualifying as Robert Mitchell brings his car back to pit road. Inigo Mardones out there on track, gonna put in his first timed lap this time by. And as these drivers are finishing out qualifying here at Michigan International Speedway, we're going to get ready and set to head down trackside for your pre-race festivities, the singing of our national anthem. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay with us here on Turn 3 Racing Network, waiting to see how Mardones goes here. First time lap will be a telling story. Only going to have time for one time lap as there's only 10 seconds remaining in qualifying. Mardones, where does he go? Only good enough for 15th. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to step away from the track for just a brief moment. Head on down trackside for the singing of the national anthem. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Drivers hitting the track, ready to go here for the StickQuik 200. Your starting grid looks like this. Pole position, the 22 of Oscar Gonzalez lining up to his outside, the 99 of Ben Wallace. Row number 2, Ryan Bowles and Tim Keene. Row number 3, the 31 of Robert Mitchell and the 13 of Howard Livingston. Row number 4, the 306 of Will Stearns and the 45 of Victor Badia. Row number 5, the 131 of Craig Forsyth, followed by the 07 of David Zaleski. In 11th, the 64 of Rick Lovison and the 37 of Jonathan Barnhart. Running 13th, Richard Kelball. Jason Lowe going to start 14th. Rounding out the field here today will be Inigo Mardones. And ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to race here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Your pole sitter, Oscar Gonzalez, fires the cars off, and we are live. Green flag racing once again here at US Indy Car League, presented by StickQuik for the StickQuik 200. Gonzalez out to an early lead battle now being had for second place as Ryan Bowles was able to get by Ben Wallace on the start of the race. Tim Keene right there running in fourth. Ben Wallace with a big move to the bottom. 3 wide for first place. Wallace on the bottom. Wallace gonna take the top spot away, but here comes Ryan Bowles to the bottom. Bowles to the point. Tim Keene right there running in third. It is a hornet's nest up at the top of the field. Your top 5 all running all over each other after taking the pole position. Looks like Oscar Gonzalez, having a little bit of trouble, has fallen 4 positions all the way back to the 5th spot as we continue under green flag racing conditions here from Michigan International Speedway field, all bunched up, still coming off of turn 4, back to the line, side by side. Top 15. Down on the bottom is Ben Wallace trying to keep his 25 machine in front of that 99 of Ben Wallace, but they are still battling it out for position. And oh, wouldn't you know, track camera behind the wall there. May have been knocked off its perch during happy hour. We'll have to check in with the technicians on that one, but nonetheless, field coming back around the stripe once again. Leading this lap is that 25 of Ryan Bowles. Almost 3 wide once again for a brief moment there for the top spot as Robert Mitchell. Look at Mitchell digging on that bottom, trying to make the pass on the inside. Work his Bowles, but Mitchell having none of it on the outside. A little bit of a drag coming from that 99 of Ben Wallace as Mitchell right there trying to steal a little bit of air off that right rear. Only driver down there hugging that yellow line was Ryan Bowles. Now Robert Mitchell, Ben Wallace follow suit through center of 1 and 2, work their way down the backstretch. Gonna try to split them now. 3 wide once again for first place as Robert Mitchell runs the top. Ben Wallace makes his way through on the bottom. He's going to slide up to the middle now back to the bottom as Robert Mitchell gives up a little bit of ground. He'll be side by side with Tim Keene for the, well, fighting for the 3rd and 4th position now. Drivers continue the side-by-side racing in action as we stay green flag racing lap number 6 out of 100 scheduled here today for Michigan International Speedway. This 2-mile shake puts on some great racing. Almost 3 wide. Mitchell thinking about it for a moment. Where will Keene go? Keene slides back up behind Wallace as Bowles and Wallace continue the fight for the top spot side by side into turn number 1 now. Tim Keene gaining the advantage over Robert Mitchell. They'll slot in, run single file for just a brief moment now. Looks like Robert Mitchell checking out of line. Gonna have Howard Livingston outside on entry 2-3. as your top 8 all the way back, actually your top 10 all still right here running with each other. As you see Victor Badia right there running the bottom in his neon green Delara IR18. Badia trying to make his way up through the field, trying to battle with David Zaleski and Will Stearns. Bowles continues to make the bottom work at the front as Wallace ripping it on the high side, trying to get the advantage, trying to keep the momentum up. I wonder what's worse, running the bottom and eating the tires up a little bit, or running the top and using a little bit more fuel. We have seen that fuel mileage is a big factor here in the US Indy Car League presented by StickQuik. These drivers like to run consistent stints, like to be able to know when to go, when to hold them, when to fold them kind of deal, you know what I mean? So very interesting to see a lot of drivers committed to that high line up there. The majority of the field is running that high line. We've only got about 4, maybe 5 drivers down there utilizing that inside lane. Big run by Robert Mitchell to the bottom. He's going to try to move through. Oh, sliding just in front of Ryan Bowles. Continuing to hook that inside lane. Now put Robert Mitchell at the top of the speed charts. Can he make it to the line first? Lap going to Robert Mitchell for the first time out there today. Now Mitchell holds the bottom as Bowles and Wallace try to make their way off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Now pulling even. The long train of cars got a little bit more momentum than the single file runner down there. Robert Mitchell still trying to hold tight. Now Bowles goes to the bottom. Bowles with the switch back to the bottom. Gonna cross the line first this time by. Put Bowles back to the point. Your top 5 is still all running with each other, now beginning to break away from the rest of the pack just a little bit. We'll continue to watch the front of the field as Howard Livingston, Will Stearns, David Zaleski, and Oscar Gonzalez try to make their way up into that top 5. Rear bumper of Badia. And, well, there's no bumper here. It's more of just the gearbox. Speaking of gearbox, I tell you what, let's go to our gearbox here. Big shout out to the 31 in his group allowing us to put this camera on that StickQuik 31 Delara IR18. Looking back at this hungry hornet's nest behind him. Mitchell running in third. There you see the move to the bottom by Badia, trying to get by Tim Keene. Not going to be able to do it, but tell you what, that is just an awesome shot out there. There you see Badia back to the bottom. Now let's go on board with that 31 of Robert Mitchell. There you see him right on the gearbox of Ben Wallace. Out there on the high lane, not utilizing the 6th gear, staying in 5th and just keeping it whining out as you see Tim Keene in the mirror going to the bottom. Victor Badia right there side by side, now edging forward and in between Bowles, Wallace and Mitchell. And man, oh man, I tell you what, while we've got a chance and all these drivers still very heavily grouped up with each other, you love it, I love it, you already know what it is. Let's see if we can't go to our turn 3s. Turn it up. And man, oh man, if that doesn't get your blood pumping for a great race, I don't know what will. Ben Wallace now leading the field. He's got Tim Keen just to his inside as Keen tries to take that top spot back away. But look at this, David Zaleski coming to the front of the field. There you see him just behind Keen, looking to the inside. Victor Padilla running in the fourth spot. Oscar Gonzalez, after falling 4 positions, making his way back up to the front of the field. Ryan Bowles got behind the 8 ball there during our turn it up, and he has dropped from the top spot all the way back to now running in the 5th spot. 5th from Oscar Gonzalez, your pole sitter. These drivers beginning to stretch themselves out. Some drivers beginning to think about the fuel mileage, as it looks like some of them are backing off just a little bit here. Now pass for the lead. David Zaleski through on the bottom. Tim Keen sliding up just a little bit. Now we'll go to the bottom, putting 3 wide at the line. David Zaleski going to lose the lead to Tim Keen on the bottom. Now going to slot in behind him. Still running that high side. The 99 of Ben Wallace sitting in the 3rd position, trying to make a run back up to the front. Gonna take a look back through the field just a little bit. Robert Mitchell now running in 7th, Craig Forsyth in 8th, Jason Lowe in that 004 down there in that inside lane. Running in the 10th and final top 10 spot, Howard Livingston right there with him, Jonathan Barnhart, Richard Kellball, Inigo Mardones, not with such a great showing right now, only good enough for the 14th spot, has gained 1 spot. Rick Levison dropping 4 spots from his starting position back to the 15th position. Field continues. Green flag racing at the front with Tim Keen leading the field, but hungry on that outside has Ben Wallace. His 99 machine has held. Ooh, and Keen sliding up to block the run just a little bit there. Very aggressive strategy. Very early here today. I say very early as we are already on lap number 26 out of the 100 scheduled in today's official race distance. And with all that being said, let's throw it to our ticker up there at the top and let you see what the time intervals are between each one of these drivers out there today. Victor Padilla now running in the 3rd spot, up 5 from his qualifying position. And I'll tell you what, let's see what the box has got to show us here today. Let's see how this battle is shaking for Victor Padilla. There you see him just not even a tenth off of Brian Bowles' gearbox, and then not much of a space back to Oscar Gonzalez running in the 5th position. Losing a little bit of ground, losing a little bit of momentum was Ben Wallace. He's going to fall back to the 3rd spot now as Tim Keen and Ryan Bowles fight for that number 1 position. Now Wallace takes over the 2nd spot down there on the inside. Keen going to drop to the bottom to block the run. Snaking his way on the track, goes to the high side on entry 2-3, drops to the bottom through the middle, now up to the top, gonna bring his car back to the bottom. Ryan Bowles with a big run off of the corner. He's gonna make the pass once again on Ben Wallace. Sorry, I went brain dead there for a second. Gonna make the pass on Ben Wallace. Now Bowles looking to make the pass on Keen. Can Keen keep it wound up on the bottom there in his Wheeling Engineering Dallara IR18? Looks like he's going to slide up in front. Bowles thought about the crossover, didn't do it. Keen side by side as we've got a side by side battle. Victor Badia going at it. Oscar Gonzalez right there waiting in the wings if any of these drivers make a mistake. Robert Mitchell also sitting in 6th. David Zaleski 7th. 8th. Will Stearns 9th. Craig Forsyth, and rounding out your top 10, Jason Lowe. We continue to watch the battle at the front of the field now as Ryan Bowles goes to the top of the speed charts by taking that inside lane away, put Keen to the top, back to 2nd. Owen Keen gonna be the first one to pit road on the brakes hard, smoking the tires, getting on to pit road. He's gonna give up that top spot to come to pit road, put Ryan Bowles at the front of the field. Now this is going to be interesting for the drivers as far as the pit stops are concerned. Who's gonna stretch it? Who's gonna ride it the furthest? Are they gonna do the long stint first with the short stint? I believe only 2 pit stops are needed. Tim Keen, Robert Mitchell, both of those drivers on and off pit road. Will Stearns to pit road this time by. Oh, a little bit of a moment there. Looks like that's Tim Keen and Robert Mitchell coming off of pit road. Thought it was a driver with some trouble, but no, that was Keen and Mitchell coming up to speed. Being scored the first cars 1 lap down, but your leaders have yet to pit. Making the bottom work. We've seen that pass over and over, but Bowles having none of it at the line. Give the lead back to Ryan Bowles and his 25 machine as he continues to run at the bottom of the track. That's going to give him the preferred position coming off of turn 2. Victor Badia running in 3rd, up 5 spots from his qualifying. Oscar Gonzalez and David Zaleski both on the road that time. Stearns has since rejoined the track. Ryan Bowles stays out, as Ben Wallace, Victor Badia, Howard Livingston, Richard Kelball, Oscar Gonzalez, and David Zaleski all come to pit road this time by. That's going to put the lead in the hands of the naked clown himself, the 004 of Jason Lowe, to the top of the charts for the first time here today. Now Jonathan Barnhart jumps to the bottom, trying to take his 37 machine to the top of the charts. Looks like all these drivers going to stay on track. Oh no, now Ryan Bowles to pit road. Rick Levison also on the pit road that time by, so we've only got 4 drivers yet to make their pit stops. Tim Keen able to make his way by Ben Wallace, Robert Mitchell right there. Those 3 fighting for what should eventually be your top 3 positions on the track after the green flag pit cycle is done. And now Craig Forsyth bringing his car to pit road. Inigo Mardones keeps his car out there running. In the 3rd position, Jonathan Barnhart and Jason Lowe still fighting for the top spot. Barnhart to the bottom. Lowe lets him through. Wonder if these drivers are going to hit pit road this time by, or if they're going to stretch it a little bit further, maybe get a 40-lap run out of their fuel tank. And then that means when they come to pit road on lap 80, they've only got a 20-lap stint to go. No need to save any tires. And Barnhart comes to pit road this time by. Inigo Mardones also joins him on pit road. Jason Lowe staying out on track. Tim Keen, Robert Mitchell, both able to pass the race leader the good old-fashioned way, get themselves back on to the lead lap. Jason Lowe going to give up the race lead when he comes to pit road here. The next lap or 2 looks like he's staying out 1 more lap, trying to stretch it. Nope, going to come to pit road this time by as the battle for the eventual race lead rages on. 38 laps of green flag racing here at Michigan International Speedway, and we found ourselves close to the halfway point with Robert Mitchell at the top of the charts. Tim Keene just in front of him. Sorry about that. Now Mitchell goes to the bottom into 3, takes that top spot away, put Keene back to 2nd, Ben Wallace to 3rd, Craig Forsyth running in 5th, but will be 4th. Big move by Keene and his Whelen Engineering, the Lara IR18 to go back to the bottom. Your top 3 have broken away from the field fairly substantially. Big gap back to your 4th and 5th place runners at the time right now, Jason Lowe and Craig Forsyth. Tim Keene takes over that top spot once again, and I tell you what, let's look at what some of the pit strategy was here so far and how the drivers are sitting on this stint on tires and fuel. Already there you see it. Robert Mitchell 31 laps, Ben Wallace 34 laps, Craig Forsyth 36. There you see Jason Lowe all the way to 38 laps. Still moving up through the running order, and Jason Lowe has gained 7 positions since the start of the race compared to his qualifying position. So great little run there in the opening segment of today's StickQuik 200 here from Michigan International Speedway. Lowe could be setting himself up to look pretty at the end of the race. Going to have one of the shortest fuel and tire stints out there from all of these US Indy Car League drivers, presented by StickQuik. As Robert Mitchell puts his StickQuik 31 machine at the top of the charts for just a brief moment as Keene uses that bottom lane, and it looks like that's the pass that we're going to see over and over. The drivers are going to get the run and then dive to that inside to try to make the pass. It just looks like that outside passing lane just isn't there here today, or isn't there so far, as Mitchell continues to try to take that top spot away. There you seen him once again utilize that inside run through 3 and 4. Gonna take the spot away. Now Keene gonna repay the favor going back into 1 and 2. A little bit of a gap back to your next runners back in through the field will join these drivers, and this is where a lot of the action is. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, they're all right there with each other, all the way back through the 12th position, actually, as Jason Lowe has fell back to the 11th spot. Oscar Gonzalez rounding out that top 12. Richard Kelball sitting in 13th, right there with these drivers, and then a big gap back to Inigo Mardones as well as Rick Lovison, as we've got 3 wide racing. Leah Bowles and Zaleski 3 wide for a moment, just in front of Will Stearns, working their way through the tri-oval. Now back down the backstretch into turn number 3. And Bowles has Zaleski right on his gearbox. Zaleski and Gonzalez go side by side off of 4. 2, almost 3 wide once again, side by side racing action for the 4th and 5th position. Padilla gonna follow through on the bottom behind Bowles to take over the 5th spot. Now looking to the outside of Bowles down the backstretch. Zaleski and Stearns right there in tow with these 2 drivers, and then you've got Jonathan Barnhart in his 37 machine running in the 8th spot. 4. Pick up a 4 position so far for him today, so great job out there. Tim Keene making the most of his day. Him and Walker with a 3 position pick up so far. Tim Keene sitting at the top of the charts. Robert Mitchell in 2nd. Ben Wallace still in 3rd. And you're still watching the battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, all the way back through the 12th position today at Michigan International Speedway. Live on Turn 3 Racing Network, it's the StickQuik 200. three wide excitement. Back further in the field, not much going on at the front. Tim Keene still maintains the race lead over Robert Mitchell. Three wide for a moment, once again through 3 and 4. Back off of turn number 4, coming to the line. Will Stearns make a move or stay behind Bowles? Looks like he's willing to just sit there right behind Bowles, as Jonathan Barnhart making his way up to battle for some of this position as well. He liked what he's 3 wide for, oh my, 4th place. Looking like 4 wide was a thought there for a second from Barnhart. Elected not to take it on just yet, as we've got side-by-side racing action. Back for the 5th position, Jonathan Barnhart, Will Stearns. Now put Padilla side by side with Stearns out there on the outside. David Zaleski falling through the field just a little bit. Now the 5th driver, and oh, big move to the outside by Padilla and Barnhart. Barnhart looking to make that outside lane work on Ryan Bowles. Not going to be able to do it just yet. Coming to cross the line to leave us halfway through today's StickQuik 200. We do appreciate each and every one of you joining us live here on Turn 3 Racing Network, or the fans, friends, family, viewers. We do appreciate you coming in. Thank you. Big shout out to all of you who come each and every week. Welcome. Thanks for joining us here on this fine Sunday, Father's Day morning. US Indy Car League presented by StickQuik. Man, it has been one heck of a race. These drivers swapping positions back here, 4th through 6th. We hate to leave this race in action, but let's go back up front with your race leaders as they begin to battle once again for that top spot. Tim Keene trying to keep Robert Mitchell at bay. Will Mitchell try to utilize the run off of 4 and duck to the bottom? There he goes. Ben Wallace still in tow, but not really fighting for the position. Maybe just saving a little bit of fuel here as he's running in the slipstream of these front 2 runners. He's going to be able to save a little bit more gas, not run the fuel as rich, as it looks like Keene going to make the move down the backstretch, take the lead into 3. As we continue to see almost the same pass at about the same place on the track. The run is real. The tow off of the back of these cars is absolutely amazing, as you see Robert Mitchell not getting the lead at the line, but taking the lead going into turn number 1. He's going to have the lead down the back stretch as Keene gets that tow. Now looks back to the inside going into turn 3. He's going to complete the entry now. Wallace washing up the track just a little bit as Keene continues to lead today's race. Robert Mitchell going to look to that inside, not going to be able to get there by the time he's at the stripe, but look for him to make the pass going into turn 1. There you see big group of cars still just behind them fighting for position. We'll take a look back here, see what's going on. We've got Ryan Bowles, Victor Badia battling for the 4th and 5th position. David Zaleski running in 6th as Bowles loses a little bit of momentum. That's going to be enough to put Badia up into that 14th spot. Now Ryan Bowles with a run through the corner, able to maintain the spot, not going to be able to do it. Swinging wide goes Zaleski. Zaleski going wide now, forcing Victor Badia to run that inside lane for Ryan Bowles in tow. Zaleski's got Will Stearns just behind him. There you see Jason Lowe in the 004 just behind them, rounding out your top 10. Also right there running in ninth, as now Ryan Bowles losing a little bit of ground. Looks like he may be in a little bit more conservative fuel mode now, halfway through this green flag run, as we've still got side-by-side racing action for 4th and 5th, 6th and 7th. Those 4 drivers not giving an inch. Oh, very close right there for Badia and Zaleski. Very, very close racing action. I don't know how they didn't touch. I don't know how they didn't. Oh, and up the hill goes Badia. Almost into that outside wall, able to keep it. Heading in the right direction, and driver on the pit road this time by Inigo Mardones. That 666 not having a very good race out here today for the StickQuik 200 presented by US Indy Car League. Here on turn 3, Racing Network, Will Stearns trying to make the pass on David Zaleski. Zaleski over the pad bottom lane. Nothing really happening up at the front of the field. Tim Keene still continues to lead Robert Mitchell as they continue to swap the spots in the same spots of the track into 1 and out of and into 3. Look for Keene to take that spot back away, as it looks like this is going to be where most of the action is going to stay here today at Michigan International Speedway for the StickQuik 200. Your top 3 drivers have broken away from the field. They enjoy a 7-second gap back to this hornet's nest of a pack. Oscar Gonzalez right there running at the front of this pack in the 4th position. Will Stearns just behind him. Ryan Bowles now running in 6th. Victor Badia battling with him. Ryan Bowles into the wall. Oh my goodness. That could have been a big time moment for these drivers here today. That could have been very dangerous for a lot of the drivers behind Bowles. Luckily, Bowles able to keep that thing righted in straight. Drivers make some evasive actions, and we stay green flag racing here at Michigan International Speedway, lap 61 out of the 100 scheduled in today's official race distance. And my goodness, these drivers have been putting on an absolute show out there for you. You've seen what the track and the weather was like at the beginning. Let's see how things are faring out there. Actually dropping 1 degree on the ambient air temperature, and it looks like the track has warmed up about 3 degrees so far. So these drivers putting some heat down with those tires into this racing surface, as things starting to calm down just a little bit in this pack of cars. We're going to go back up to the front of the field and rejoin the battle at the front with Robert Mitchell, Tim Keene, and Ben Wallace. Will Stearns, Craig Forsyth, both on the pit road this time by. So that's going to bring us back to that pesky pit strategy. It's looked a little something like this. Drivers getting ready for their green flag pit stops. Keene, Mitchell, Wallace, all right there on top of their pit numbers, or at least where they pitted last time. We'll have to see if they increase those numbers. Nobody to pit road that time by. David Zaleski gonna jump down on the pit road. And Craig Forsyth with a big time moment. Craig having an issue. We'll go back, see what happened to Craig here real quick with our turn 3 replay. Not seeing what happened to Craig. We'll try it one more time. And looks like Craig Forsyth and Will Stearns off track. We'll take a look here one more time on the replay. Will Stearns up into the guardrail off of 4. back, caught up David Zaleski. Craig Forsyth as well. My goodness, tough break for those drivers. Nonetheless, we will rejoin the race back live. As Ben Wallace going to hit pit road this time by. That's going to put Jason Lowe at the top of the charts as Robert Mitchell, Tim Keene, both bringing their machines to pit road to what could be the final stop of the race. I don't know. I'm not sure about this strategy here from Barnhart and Jason Lowe. Both of these drivers can extend their runs here, but they're gonna have much fresher tires, but they're not gonna have a lot of time to get the job done. As we see Barnhart jump to the bottom of the track to take the lead away from Jason Lowe. Howard Livingston running in third, Rick Levison in fourth. Ryan Bowles sitting in fifth on pit road. There you see Tim Keene coming off of pit road now. Oscar Gonzalez also off of pit road. Ben Wallace has been able to make a pass on Robert Mitchell, so look for Wallace to take over the race lead once everybody has pitted. Howard Livingston jumping onto pit road now. Ryan Bowles now coming out of pit road. He will be scored as the first car one lap down as Ben Wallace and Robert Mitchell continue to try to reel in those leaders. Jonathan Barnhart, Jason Lowe, Rick Levison all staying out on track. And keep in mind, Lowe has got a long way to go here on his fuel. He was the last driver to pit during that first stint of green flag pit stop, so he has got a long time to be able to stay out there on track. Your top three staying out on the racetrack as they run now, putting Howard Livingston and Oscar Gonzalez down a lap as well. Jason Lowe giving the top spot away back to Jonathan Barnhart. Looks like he's slowing up to come to pit road. Jason Lowe gonna hit pit road this time by. Good entry to pit road as Jonathan Barnhart right here battling with, I believe that is Tim Keene, who he is battling with Tim with an issue on pit road. We'll try to back it up, see what happened here to Tim Keene. And it just looks like a very long stop there by Tim Keene, almost a 50-second stop, so I believe he probably received a penalty speeding on entry to pit road, and that's going to put a big damper on his day, put him down a lap as Robert Mitchell and Ben Wallace. Looks like those two drivers are going to be the ones battling it out for the race lead, so a mistake through the middle of the race is gonna cost that Ford machine of Tim Keene as Barnhart slows to come to pit road. We'll take a look back here with the drivers that should eventually be the leaders of this race. Ben Wallace and Robert Mitchell continue to battle off of turn number 2 down the back stretch. Now look for Mitchell to look to the inside of Wallace. These top two drivers putting on one heck of a show out there tonight. Great shot of the pace car driver just sitting there like, hey guys, I ain't got no job. Nonetheless, these two drivers continue to lead today's race, have ran inside the top 5 pretty much the entire time except for during green flag pit cycles. Robert Mitchell now looking to the inside of Ben Wallace, as we'll give you a little bit of information about these drivers. There you see it. There's some laps right there for you. Robert Mitchell, his best lap, a 31.832. Last lap was 32.696. So well off, about a second off of the fast time here for Robert Mitchell. Going to give you some information now about the driver running in second, fighting for that top spot, the 99 of Ben Wallace. Passed the slap at 31.979. Falling off about 0.7 of a second last lap, 32.645. And I wasn't sure how the strategy was gonna work, but now, up 11 positions, Jason Lowe running in the 4th spot now, make it 10 positions as Oscar Gonzalez makes his way by. But there you see great fuel strategy being used by that 004 of Jason Lowe. As we're coming to only 25 laps remaining, battle at the front for the race lead. Ben Wallace, Robert Mitchell, there you see him, just 0.2 of a second separate these top 2 drivers. Then it is a heck of a battle between the rest of the field behind them. Jason Lowe now running in 3rd, Howard Livingston in 4th, Oscar Gonzalez back to 5th, Jonathan Barnhart in 6th, Ryan Bowles 7th, 8th is Richard Kelball, David Zaleski in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, Rick Lovison. After a great early run, found some trouble, and back in the 11th spot, Tim Keene being scored the first car, 1 lap down his 4, Wheeling Engineering Dallara IR18. Tough break for Keene. He was battling up here for the race lead. Speeding penalty has caught him and his crew out, and it relegated him a little bit further through the field than what he would like. Now sitting 1 lap down in the 12th position. We'll continue to watch the race here at the front of the field from Michigan International Speedway. Looks like Ben Wallace beginning to grab a little bit of a gap as Mitchell looks to the inside to 1. Looks like Wallace gonna let him have it. Look for the crossover late here going into turn 3. We've seen it time and time again out here today at Michigan International Speedway for the StickQuik 200. And there goes Wallace back to the bottom, gonna clear through the center of 3 and 4 and retake the race lead. Mitchell trying to get that pull, trying to get the toe, not gonna be there as Wallace crosses the line first, and here goes Mitchell back to the bottom once again as these top 2 drivers continue to swap the race lead. We're gonna head back through the field just a little bit, bring you a little bit more of the action out here today from Michigan International Speedway. Howard Livingston, there you see this big group of drivers. Howard Livingston now trying to take that 3rd spot away from Oscar Gonzalez. Jason Lowe sitting right there in that double position. And this has got to be an absolute heartbreaker for Tim Keene. He has made his way back onto the lead lap. Still finds himself back through the field now as Jason Lowe tries to take away the spot from Howard Livingston. Looks like he's going to get that pass made. Now Ryan Bowles looking to do the same. Gonzalez goes from the top to the bottom there to try to block the run that Jason Lowe was getting. No help from behind as Ryan Bowles stays up at the top of the track. Now pushing their way past Tim Keene is Gonzalez looking to the inside here. Off the 4 goes Jason Lowe. He's got the 13 of Howard Livingston just behind him. Ryan Bowles stuck on the outside right there. Oh, and Keene with a big move to the inside. Keene gonna get a run and make the move to the inside. That's gonna bring Jason Lowe right there side by side on the 2 with Gonzalez. Tim Key now moving out of the way, deciding to let those drivers battle it out, not having a car at the tail end of the field or affect their race for position. As Gonzalez works that high side, Jason Lowe, he's got Howard Livingston in tow, trying to make the pass for the third spot. Gonna work through 1 and 2 this time by looking to the bottom, down the back stretch, side by side, Gonzalez and Lowe. Only 17 laps remaining here from Michigan International Speedway for the StickQuik 200 live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Want to take a moment to just once again say thank you to all the fans, friends, family, viewers, watchers, stopper, buyers. We do appreciate you stopping in each and every time you do, and when you do each and every week here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you haven't already, go ahead and throw these drivers a thumbs up. Let them know you appreciate and like what they're giving you out there on track. Go ahead, click subscribe, smash the bell over on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave up here in Turn 3 Racing production booth, or any of the other colleagues back there at Turn 3 Racing Network. Muth in the booth, Chris Lagu, Rick, Al, Danny, all the guys, Cody. You all do an amazing job. We all appreciate each and every time you stop by. So if you haven't already, click subscribe, smash the bell. I promise, content will not let you down. We're on almost every single day of the week here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Close battle by Jason Lowe and Howard Livingston there for just a brief moment, heading off into turn 3 and 4. That battle is for the 4th and 5th position. Oscar Gonzalez able to take away that 3rd spot. Now looking to take that spot, Howard Livingston to the bottom. And as this battle continues to rage on, single file swapping positions, looking for a block, not gonna happen. Gonzalez gonna take that spot away from Lowe. Now Lowe's gonna have to deal with Livingston on the outside. Will rejoin Robert Mitchell and Ben Wallace at the front of the field, working their way off of turn 2 down the back stretch. Down the back stretch once again. Wallace looking to make the pass. Gonna go high above with one of our drone cams here on Turn 3 Racing Network, one of our newer cameras out here. If you haven't already, scroll down through the description. Go check out Esteban for all your iRacing track cameras, car cameras. I tell you what, does a phenomenal job with each and every track and car. Big shout out to Esteban and all the things that he does as for us here at Turn 3 Racing Network with all the cameras. Man, I promise you won't be disappointed. Go over there, click the description, and go check out Esteban. Great work. Battle once again at the front of the field. You see Robert Mitchell take that spot away from Ben Wallace heading into turn 1 and 2. Now Wallace hanging tough on the outside there. You see him moving in the slipstream. Big toe off of 2. Halfway down the back stretch, side by side. Now taking the inside lane in the lead going into 3. Big gap put between himself and Robert Mitchell there with the big run in tow. Coming off of 2 and down the back stretch. Now Mitchell looking to repay the favor. Not going to get there by the start-finish line, but gonna be there side by side as they head back into turn 1. 10 laps remaining here in the StickQuik 200 from Michigan International Speedway, live on Turn 3 Racing Network. Battle still raging on for the top spot. Battle still raging for 3rd through 7th as well. My goodness, want to keep it here with the race lead, but want to go back there and give you some of this great action as these drivers are all over each other. Oh, close moment there for Mitchell and Wallace heading into turn 1. Big run off of 2 once again for Wallace as he's going to retake the lead. So we're going to jump back for just a brief moment, give you some of this racing action going on back here. Jason Lowe and Oscar Gonzalez right there fighting for the position. Howard Livingston has third. Now Lowe looking to the bottom. He's got fresher tires. Can he make it work? Remember that pit strategy we threw out there with 8 laps remaining? Who's got the freshest tires? And it looks like all these drivers with pretty fresh tires. Looks like Jonathan Barnhart running in the 8th position is going to be the driver with the freshest tires out there as they sit now, as Gonzalez gets a big run on Jason Lowe. Gonna look to the bottom to take that 3rd spot away. Livingston trying to follow through. Seven laps remaining. Robert Mitchell has the lead, but will Wallace regain it going through 3 and 4 as we've seen time and time again? We'll check back here in just one brief moment as, yes, Wallace makes the pass in 3 and 4. Once again, gonna lead Mitchell back to the line as Robert Mitchell gonna look back to the inside once again. Battle back here from 3rd back to 7th, beginning to calm down just a fair amount. Then we've got side-by-side battling going on right here as well. Richard Kelball, Jonathan Barnhart, there side-by-side for the 7th and 8th position. David Zaleski, Rick Lovison, 9th and 10th. Last car on the lead lap. The 45 of Victor Badia has dropped 3 spots since the start of today's race. Tim Keene with some trouble getting onto pit road. Got a speeding penalty. He'll be scored. The first car 1 lap down as we've got 5 laps remaining here in the StickQuik 200 live from Michigan International Speedway. We'll rejoin your race leaders at the front of the field. Ben Wallace now with a little bit of a gap, 0.2 of a second. You're gonna have to time it right. If you're Robert Mitchell, you're able to time this pass right here going into turn 1. You're able to time it and get the lead through the center and off of 2, but here comes Wallace. Back on that gearbox, big run down the back stretch, now moving to the bottom on entry to 3. Mitchell's gonna have to figure out a way to stay a little closer through the center here, have a little bit more of that toe. A little bit earlier, almost right there. Gotta be a little bit closer. Very, very close at the line that time by. They're gonna give that lap lead to Ben Wallace as Robert Mitchell was right there. Mitchell blocking the bottom lane this time. Switching up the line, and could that be enough? He's going to stick it to the bottom. He's going to stay in front of Wallace this lap. First time a whole lap was led, and I don't know how long. Robert Mitchell changing his line coming off of 2, staying on the bottom of the track. He's going to force Wallace to go the highway. If he wants to make the pass, he's going to force him to go the long way around. Tougher for Wallace to make that pass into 3 as Mitchell hugging the bottom. Oh my, they almost touched through 3 and 4. Side by side off of turn number 4. Mitchell to the line. White flag is out here at Michigan International Speedway. Last lap around the track. Who's got what it takes? Who's going to get the job done? Wallace right there on the gearbox of Mitchell. Mitchell gonna use the bottom lane. Wallace up high. Side by side, no advantage for either driver. Now looks like Robert Mitchell may have the advantage. Oh, crossover attempt late here by Wallace. They almost touch. It's a drag race. Oh my goodness! Give it to Robert Mitchell by .002. My goodness, that was a heck of a finish as we've got drivers crashing at the end of the race. Jason Lowe, what happened here? Oh, little bit of a moment there. Barnhart crossing the line, but my goodness, what about this man right here, top of the charts? My goodness, great job out there by Robert Mitchell and his 31 StickQuik Dallara IR18. Your top three: Robert Mitchell, Ben Wallace, Jonathan Barnhart, gonna bring their cars to a stop. So we'll get set, we'll get ready to head down trackside for your post-race interview. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And welcome back trackside here, Michigan International Speedway. We have put the StickQuik 200 in the books. And man, what a great finish it was out there today. Let's see if we can't get in a word or two with the driver walking away in the top spot. Walking away with the race win after a great finish, probably the best finish we've seen. Man, Robert Mitchell, a heck of a job.
Thank you. Worked my butt off to get that one, and it was very close. Thanks, Ben, for driving me clean, and congrats to the top three. But, man, we're happy to be in victory lane. StickQuik machine in the victory lane again.
Absolutely. Able to get this one on video your other two wins, we've had this discussion before jokingly, seems like every time I'm not around, you seem to pull that win out, but able to get the job done here live today. So hats off for that one, getting it on record, but also being able to put yourself in a category of your own, only driver to win 3 races this season. So that's got to make you feel good as well.
Yeah, I was surprised. Normally, I finished mid-pack at Michigan, but I put in some practice. We had a great setup, a great bunch of guys to race with, and another caution-free race for us. And thank you, StickQuik, for sticking with us.
All right, Robert. Well, we won't keep you long. We know how important it is to celebrate and enjoy your race wins, but any special shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that? Anybody you may have forgotten or anything you want to say, anything special here on Father's Day?
Yeah, happy Father's Day to my dad. I don't think he's watching today, but and all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. And this league is just great, man. Love it. We're having fun.
All right, my man. Well, once again, it was great to see you up here in the booth, and we'll catch up with you next week. There you have it. Some few final words from your race winner, the 31 of Robert Mitchell. Now, driver finishing in the second position. So close to getting that race win, that third win of the season. Ben Wallace, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Dave.
Man, that was one heck of a finish, man. Walk us through those final few laps where you were behind the 31 and then he took away that bottom lane. What was your thought process, and how did you think you were going to be able to take that top spot?
Really, it's kind of looking after the tyres as best we could to make sure we were there at the end, which I think both Robert and I did pretty well. When he took the inside, I knew the outside was fast. I knew I could get a run on there. It's just about timing. In hindsight, maybe I would have got a little bit of more of a draft down the back straight on the last lap and cut higher again. But yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, 0.02 of a second is can't grumble too much coming second to that.
Yeah, man. I know it's still a little disappointing being so close and not getting it, but at the same time, a great finish. Having a great year so far, so nothing to hang your head about, and we always know you're going to be fast and give it your all week in and week out. So, yeah, congratulations once again on a great second place. Before we let you go, though, Ben, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
No, just to the organisers, our sponsors, StickQuik.com, JackBumper.com. Just as usual, everyone's hard work. It's a good league. Obviously, Robert and myself are in a close championship battle, which is quite ironic how it was us two fighting towards the end. But hopefully, we can have a good, clean, and consistent remainder of the season and give everyone a good show.
All right, Ben. Well, man, we wish you well. And we look forward to catching up with you when we hit the track again at New Hampshire.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks.
There you have it. Some few final words from the driver finishing in second here today, the 99 of Ben Wallace. And what a hard fought battle that was for the race when you watched it live unfold before your eyes. Just 0.02 of a second separated himself from Robert Mitchell. And with all that being said, let's see if we can't get in a word or two with the driver finishing in the third and final podium spot out there today. Jonathan Barnhart, you got a copy?
Yeah, but I hear you loud and clear.
Well, man, great job out there today. You started a little bit further in the field. You gained 9 positions throughout the race. So tell us a little bit about your race and how you made that happen.
Well, first and foremost, I had some contact there with Jason Lowe on the last coming to the white flag, and I just want to apologize for that. It was a tight squeeze, but with this back racing, sometimes things happen, and I don't know, man. It was close on my screen, but I feel like that was not how I want to be raced, so I want to apologize to him. But going back to my race, I didn't qualify well. I tried something new. I only did a few qualifying runs and it didn't work. So started in the back, but with this type of racing, it's more about just having those tires those last 5 laps, and I felt like I did really good on the third stint there, and yeah, brought it home third.
Well, man, it was an exciting end of the race for us. We stepped back, watched a little bit of the replay. I don't believe there was anything intentional, but there again, that's my opinion, and I'm just up here. You know what I mean? But I don't think there was contact. Looked like there was a little bit of net code in there involved as well. But as a driver as well, we never want to get a position by contact and things of that nature. So do appreciate the first and foremost thoughts that you had were about yourself and Jason Lowe coming to the end, but nonetheless, man, great race, great clean race here. Green flag racing from flag to flag. So hats off to you and all of the other drivers. But before we let you go, Jonathan, you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, thank you to the entire US Indy Car League. These guys are a great group to race with, and I'm happy to finally get here and talk to you, Dave. So first Father's Day for me, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm gonna go play with the kid, and happy Father's Day to everybody. Thank you, StickQuik, and my wife, my main sponsor, Hannah, for giving me the time to do this. Thank you.
All right, my man. Well, congratulations. Didn't know you were a dad. Didn't want to, you know how that is. Wasn't quite sure, so didn't want to say it to you. But happy Father's Day, man. Enjoy not only this first one, but many more to come. It's a great journey, man, and we look forward to catching up with you at New Hampshire.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Well, there you have it. Some parting words from the driver finishing in the third and final podium position here today, the 37 of Jonathan Barnhart. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. You know what it is. We have only got some business to put in to run through here at the end of the race. So we're going to give you what you came for and what you want. Let's get down to business. Your finishing order here today for the StickQuik 200 from Michigan International Speedway. Robert Mitchell walking away with the top spot in his 31 machine. Ben Wallace going to come home in second, and the 37 of Jonathan Barnhart will finish in third. Fourth spot will go to Oscar Gonzalez. The 25 of Ryan Bowles will finish in fifth. Sixth place, the 13 of Howard Livingston, and in seventh, Richard Kelball. Eighth spot goes to David Zaleski in his 07-64 of Rick Lubison, gonna finish in ninth, and rounding out your top 10 in the 45 machine, Victor Badia. 11th spot, the 004 of Jason Lowe, and in 12th, the 4 of Tim Keene. 13th spot will be the 306 of Will Stearns, and Craig Forsyth gonna pilot the 131 home to 14th position. Not a very good race out there for the 666. Inigo Mardones will finish in the 15th and a final spot after some early trouble gonna be scored 44 laps down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. There's nothing left for us to do except wish you all well. Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you out there. Thanks once again to all you fans, friends, family, and viewers stopping by here on Turn 3 Racing Network with myself, Darkside Dave, in the cave here at Turn 3 Racing Network. And until next time, stay safe, stay loved, and well, we'll see you again next time here on Turn 3 Racing Network.